Welcome to Discovering Spain, Wildlife, Culture, and Travel Insights. I'm Mike.
And I'm Sarah. Today we're taking a deep dive into the captivating Cadiz province of Spain. You shared some really detailed travel guides and local insights with us, and we're going to explore some key destinations together.
Exactly. We're going to unpack what you need to know about visiting Cadiz City, explore the character of Algar, touch on Ronda and Grazlema, and even consider a visit to the dramatic Caminito del Rey. Our mission is really to extract the most important information so you can feel, really well informed about these fantastic locations.
Okay, let's get started right in Cadiz City. You've given us access to a website called Visiting Cadiz. What sort of jumps out at you as particularly useful for someone planning a trip there?
Well, um, immediately it strikes me that this site is just packed with practicalities for you. For instance, it mentions guided audio tours, which is, a brilliant way to explore at your own pace.
Right, on your own schedule.
Yeah. Exactly. And it also has clear sections on getting around and, crucially, even specific advice on parking, something anyone who's ever tried to park in a new city will definitely appreciate.
Oh, absolutely. Trying to navigate a new place, find parking, it can be a source of stress. So having those logistical details readily available for you is, well, invaluable.
Yeah.
It also highlights brief city tours, various activities you might be interested in, and even breaks down accommodation options like hotels and hostels. It really seems designed with the traveler in mind. What makes it feel particularly user-focused to you?
Good question. I think the way it anticipates different needs is key. It even breaks down information by barrios, that's neighborhoods, for anyone who might not know the Spanish term, and has a dedicated section on the beaches in Cadiz.
Hmm.
Plus, if you prefer in-person help, it directs you straight to the tourist offices.
Right, okay. And what's fascinating here is how tailored some of the resources are for you. I see mentions of a specific guided audio tour of Cadiz and even a guide aimed specifically at cruise passengers. Discovering the Charms of Cadiz, a guide for cruise passengers. That shows a real understanding of the diverse ways people might be arriving and exploring.
Definitely. And for those of you planning to drive, they haven't overlooked you either, with a resource specifically titled Where to Park in Cadiz. It's clear that this website aims to cover a lot of the essential questions you might have.
It seems pretty comprehensive for Cadiz city itself.
Yeah. Okay, let's change direction now and head inland a bit to a place called Algar.
Algar. Okay. According to the article you shared, it's located right in the heart of the Cadiz province. It used to be called Santa Maria de Guadalupe del Algar.
That's right. It's described as a tranquil village with a pretty significant historical background.
Sounds appealing. And in terms of size, it sounds quite small.
Yeah, relatively small. It covers 27 square kilometers with a population of just over 1,500. It's about 87 kilometers from Cadiz City and sits at an elevation of 212 meters.
Okay. And what's interesting is its economic foundation. You've got the traditional industries like agriculture, livestock, leather craftsmanship, woodworking.
Yeah,
But rural tourism is also mentioned as significant.
right. That blend of historical practices and modern developments is quite common in many of these inland villages, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And the story behind its founding is also quite specific. Apparently, it was established in 1773 by Domingo López de Carvajal.
Mm-hmm.
He brought in 25 settlers from nearby areas like Bornos and Ubrique. It's interesting how these communities were sometimes, intentionally created.
Yeah, planned settlements. Now, if we connect this to the broader geography for you, the strategic location of Algar is really noteworthy. It sits right between two major natural parks.
Ah, right. The Parque Natural Sierra de Grazalema and Parque Natural Los Alcornocales. That location must contribute to some dramatic scenery, I imagine. Mountainous terrain.
Absolutely. The Cerro del Aguila and Sierra del Balconcillo are specifically mentioned as prominent features. And the plant life sounds really diverse. Shrublands with broom and rock rose, various types of oaks, wild olives.
Sounds lovely. And water's clearly an important element too, with the Rio Machacete flowing through and feeding the Guadalcacin Reservoir. The article even mentions a specific place you might consider staying, the Hotel Tugasa Villa de Algar.
Useful tip. Now, here's something that really paints a picture for you. Algar is said to mark the end of Cadiz's famous Ruta de los Pueblos Blancos.
Ah, the route of the white villages.
Exactly. Just hearing that conjures up images of those charming whitewashed buildings clinging to the hillsides, doesn't it? It makes you wonder about the journey along that whole route.
It really does. And the name Algar itself, apparently it comes from the Arabic word for cave,
Yep.
referencing medieval grottos.
Yeah, that's the origin. There's even a local legend about its founding tied to a near-death experience at sea for that Lopez de Carvajal guy.
Huh. These kinds of stories really add character, don't they?
They do indeed, giving you a richer sense of its past. But beyond the legend, there's tangible history here too, right? Neolithic settlements, a cave dating back to the 6th century BC, Roman ruins of Calduba. That's quite a long timeline.
Exactly, a long timeline of human activity. And let's not forget the more recent historical sites like the 18th century Casa Consistorial, that's the town hall, the Antigua Posada, the Old Inn, and the main church, Iglesia Paroquial Santa Maria de Guadalupe. These give you a glimpse into the village's more recent history.
Yeah, and this is pretty remarkable remnants of a Roman aqueduct, built way back during Emperor Octavius Augustus's reign,
Wow.
stretching a staggering 75 kilometers all the way to Cadiz. That really speaks to the scale of Roman engineering in this region, doesn't it? Imagine building that.
Incredible. It really underscores the historical depth you can find even in a smaller village like Algar. Continuous human presence from prehistoric times right through.
Definitely. And if you're thinking about timing your visit, it looks like Algar has a pretty lively calendar of annual events for you to experience.
Oh, yeah. Like,
Well, everything from carnivals in February to a spring fair in May,
okay.
religious celebrations like Holy Week in April, and a pilgrimage for St. Nicholas in early June. And the main festival for Our Lady of Guadalupe is September 8th.
Sounds like a good way to get a real taste of the local culture and traditions if you time it right. Gives you a sense of the community spirit.
For sure. Okay, now moving on slightly, we also have mentions of Ronda and Grazalema. You've pointed us to Ronda today for information before visiting Ronda, described as the city of dreams, interestingly,
Right.
and simply visiting Grazalema, which suggests a similar resource is available for that location.
Yeah, while we don't have the detailed content of those specific websites here in front of us, the fact that they're highlighted for you indicates they'd be valuable resources. Ronda, I mean, it's famous for that dramatic Puente Nuevo bridge, isn't it? Spanning the El Tajo Gorge.
That's the one. And its historical connection to bullfighting.
Right. And Grazalema, nestled in the Sierra de Grazalema Natural Park, known for stunning mountain scenery, and it's often called one of the rainiest places in Spain, which explains the lush vegetation. Great for hiking, I'd imagine.
Absolutely. And for those of you looking for a bit more adventure, we have a mention of the Caminito del Rey
Ah, yes!
and a direct link to its official ticket website, this famous walkway. It's renowned for its breathtaking, sometimes challenging route through the Desfiladero de los Gaitanes Gorge.
It's become super popular, hasn't it? So having that direct link to official tickets is going to be essential for you if you're considering that, well, unique experience. Booking ahead is probably crucial.
Definitely. Now, shifting focus slightly for those of you perhaps more interested in the natural aspects, there's a resource called Wildside Holidays Spain. This seems focused on helping you discover the wildlife and nature of Spain, particularly its natural and national parks.
That connects nicely with Algar's location between those two big natural parks we mentioned earlier, Gazalema and Los Alcornocales. It suggests the whole Cadiz province is a fantastic area for you if you're a nature enthusiast.
Yeah.
There's also a mention of the Iberia Nature Forum for help identifying wildlife, which could be a really useful tool for anyone keen on, observing the local plants and animals.
Right, like a citizen science thing almost.
Yeah.
So as you can see, the Cadiz province really does seem to provide a diverse range of experiences for you, whether your interest is history, culture, adventure, or nature.
Indeed. The province is summarized as being renowned for its blend of natural beauty, historic landmarks, and culinary delights. And with 44 cities, towns, and villages, there's clearly a lot for you to explore.
Yeah, 44. They even give a few more examples just to whet your appetite. Vejer de la Frontera, those iconic whitewashed houses, Atlantic views.
Classic.
Right. Ubrique, famous for its leather craftsmanship, nestled within the Sierra de Grazalema Park. Zahara de la Sierra, with its striking hilltop castle overlooking a reservoir.
Dramatic.
And Sanlúcar de Barrameda, known for its manzanita sherry, fresh seafood, and those views of the Guadalquivir River.
Each of those brief mentions really highlights the unique character that different parts of the province offer you. It encourages you to perhaps venture beyond just the most well-known destinations.
Absolutely. So to quickly recap our exploration of the Cadiz province for you, we've looked at the practical resources for Cadiz City, delved into Algar's history and charm, noted the dedicated websites for Ronda and Grazalema, and pointed you towards info for the Caminito del Rey.
And highlighted the opportunities for wildlife and nature exploration, too. And it's important for you to remember that this information comes from detailed local guides and insights, offering a much richer understanding than, just generic tourist info.
That's a key point. So if you're inspired to delve deeper into any of these areas, really start planning your travels, we highly recommend you explore the websites we've mentioned. They're packed with even more detail.
And it's worth pointing out for you that the detailed article on Algar, the one we discussed, and the voice map audio guide for Cadiz City are both the work of Clive Muir.
Yes, that's right. And Clive Muir also manages those helpful English-language tourist info websites for Ronda and Grazalema, as well as the one for the Caminito del Rey. He's also behind Wildside Holidays, promoting sustainable and eco-friendly wildlife and working holidays across Spain.
So he's clearly very knowledgeable about this region, dedicated to showcasing this part of Spain and providing valuable resources for you as a traveler. He also did the Voice Map GPS audio guide for Ronda, so if you're planning a visit there, that might be a great resource for you.
Definitely worth checking out. So as you continue your own exploration of Spain, we really encourage you to consider the diverse and fascinating offerings of the Cadiz province. Informed by the detailed local knowledge provided by people like Clive Muir, there's certainly a lot waiting for you to discover.